Dear students, welcome to online classes. At the very first, I want to introduce myself with you. I am Shekhar Mazumder, Assistant Teacher of Yunus Secondary School, Mongla, Bagerhat. In this time of pandemic called COVID-19, that is coronavirus, I wish all of you are very well with your family, and God will help you to keep well with all your family. So we have nothing to do but pray to the God about our good health. Now I am going to start my class. Today I want to teach you about degree that is included in the transformation of sentence. That is transformation of sentences. In this section of grammar, there are different items. Among them, number one, affirmative, two, negative, and vice versa. That is, we have to also change the sentence from negative to affirmative. Number two, voice. Number three, degree. Number four, simple, complex, and compound. Also, assertive, to interrogative, dative, assertive to imperative, interrogative to assertive, and also imperative to assertive, and so on. Among all the topics, today I am going to talk about degree. So, at the very first, we should know what is degree. What is degree? Degree means comparison of adjective. That is comparison of adjective. To do so, we have to know what is adjective. I think as you are the student of class 9 and 10, so you have a good conception on adjective. But before going to these topics, I again want to remind you what is adjective. Adjective is the word which modify the quality or quantity of noun and pronoun. So those words which refers always the quality or quantity of a noun and pronoun are called adjective. And degree, for example, we can say that Hassan is a good students. Students. Here, good. This word modify the noun. Our Hassan is a good student. She is tall. She is tall. How is she? She is tall, etc. So comparison of adjective means compare. Compare. If we want to say in Bengali, then compare means tulona kora. When something is compared with another of same quality, that is comparison. Hassan is tall boy. Hassan is taller than Mahmud. And Hassan is the tallest boy in the class. Can you find a different in this sentence? Here, Hassan is tall. The next sentence, Hassan is taller. Hassan is taller. And the last sentence of the bold, here, Hassan is the tallest. Hassan is the tallest. Here, tall. The simple quality of a boy. The simple quality of a boy. In the second sentence, here, the body figure, the taller, the tall, the quality of tall is compared with the another person's Mahmud. Here we can say Hassan is compared with Mahmud. And the last, Hassan is compared with all the class, all the boys of the class. So, three types of qualities. The base word is tall. The next one, tall plus ear, taller. The last one, tall plus est, tallest. Three types of degree here we get. Here we get. So we can say that there are three types of degree. Number one, positive degree. Positive degree. Number two, comparative degree. Number three, superlative degree. So we can identify, give the definition of positive degree when the quality of something or some noun or pronoun is simply described, that is called positive degree. When the qualities of some things is compared with another one of same quality is called comparative degree. And when the quality of something is compared with all of the same qualities things, that is called superlative degree. That is called superlative degree. So from this we can remind that there are three types of degree: positive degree, comparative degree, and superlative degree. As we know, degree means comparison of adjective. So at first we have to know how the set word of adjective can be changed into positive to comparative, comparative to superlative. Here we can see some example such as tall, taller and tallest. It is positive, it is comparative, it is superlative. And sometimes we can say beautiful, beautiful, more beautiful, more beautiful. And the superlative form of beautiful is most beautiful, most beautiful. So why? This is tall, taller and tallest. Here the base word requires ear to make comparative form. And here the base word needs est to make superlative form. But the next one, beautiful, its comparative form is more beautiful. Why? Here we can take ear to make tall to taller. But what's the reason why beautiful is not become beautifuler? And there is some reason. We have no syllable, and this is the very beginning point of learnings. Syllable means part of words. Tall, tall to utter tall. We need one tone. Tall, tall. But to utter beautiful, we need beautiful. There are three parts of this sentence. Beautiful. So, which words have only one tone or monosyllable? It requires ear. By its needs ear to make comparative form and need est to make superlative form. But when the words have more than one syllable, it needs more before the word to make it comparative form and need most before the word to make it superlative form. Such as brilliant, brilliant. How many parts of the sentence or how many syllables of the sentence? Brilliant. There are three syllables. So the comparative form of these words may be more brilliant and most brilliant. More brilliant, and the superlative form will be the most brilliant. Okay? But if we utter small, S-M-A-L-L, small. Small is, there is only one syllable, small. So the comparative form will be smaller, smaller. And the superlative form will be smallest, smallest. So now we shall go to how to change the positive form into the superlative form or into the comparative sentence. Here there are three sentences I am reading. The rose is the finest flower in the world, world. The rose is the finest flower in the world. And we can also say the rose is one of the finest flower in the world. What's the difference with the first one to the second one? Here, the finest, and the next one is one of the finest. The difference is that in the first instance there is only the, and the next one is one of the. In this sentence we can understand that it is the only thing which is the finest flower. But in the second one we can learn that there are also some other finest flower. Among them the rose is one of them. So how can we identify what type of sentence is it? To see EST, it is superlative sentence, and it is also superlative sentence. So we can find that there are two types of superlative sentence, and if we want to change it into comparative, we have to, the first one we have to write the rose is, the will be removed, the will be removed, and now we have to change the superlative form of adjective into comparative form. Finest, the base word will be fine, finer, finest. Fine, finer, finest. That is finest. The rose is fine. We are going to comparative form. So fine, finer, finest. We have to use finer, the comparative form of the adjective. The rose is finer. Finer. Here is the. Instead of the, we have to use than any other. Than any other. The rose is finer than any other, and the rest of the sentence will be written here. Any other flower in the world, any other flower in the world. So here we can see that the rose is the finest flower in the world. So with this types of sentence will be transferred into this type. The rose is finer. So this sentence have only the, we have to use than any other instead of the after the adjective. After the adjective. The rose is finer than any other flower in the world. Any other flower in the world. If the sentence of the second one, that is one of the, then we have to say the rose is one of the. But if this function will be here and the finest is transferred into finer. Finer. Here where there is only the, then we have had used than any other. But if there is one of the, then we have to use than most other. most, other, and rest of the sentence will be seated here. Other flower, flower in the world. So from this sentence we can learn that if the superlative sentence has only the, we can use than any other after the adjective, and if the superlative sentence has on of the, then we can use than most other after the adjective. In the same way, now we will go to change the superlative to positive degree. Then the same thing happened here. The sentence has the and one of the. So to change it into positive, the first one will be positive. Which sentence has only the? This sentence will be begun or initiated with no other. No other. Then the after the adjective to the last one, this part will be seated here. So no other after adjective here is flower in the world. So then this part will be seated after other. No other flower. Flower in the world. In the world. Then it requires verb. Verb is here is. Then we need so or as. So or as. No other flower in the world is so. Then the positive form of the adjective, finest. The positive form of finest is fine. So fine. And after so fine, after positive here, we have to use as. And this is the, it has no alternative. As must be used here. So fine as the subject. Subject, the rose. The rose. So the superlative sentence which has only the, it will be changed into positive degree by initiated no other, and the rest of the things after adjective flower in the world. Flower in the world plus verb. Here the verb is world is. Next so or as. So or as. Here we can use so and also we can use as. So as fine, the positive form of the adjective finest, and next as, and after that we have to use the subject. But when the question arises with the sentence one of the, then we have to do the same following things. That is, we have to use very few, and the rules of the previous sentence, the flower in the world, very few flowers in the world. Now we have to use the plural form of the given verb. Plural form of the given verb. The plural form of is are, and the rest of is the same. Are so fine as the rose. So in briefly we can say that the superlative sentence we says only the to change this into the positive one we have to initiate the sentence with no other, and the sentence having one of the, and this type of sentence will be beginning by very few. So now we can use only a short table to understand the things very shortly. Follow the table and I think the whole thing will be very clear to you. Here, positive, comparative, superlative. Superlative, here we find that only the and one of the, and this is the keyword. Only we can memorize how we have to change the sentence if we follow these steps. Superlative, if the superlative have only the, in comparative we use than any other. And in case of one of the, we have to use than most other, and in the case when the the was used, we in positive we use no other, and in the place of one of the we used very few. So in comparative sentence, if there is than any other, in positive we use no other. In comparative, if there is than most other, in positive we have to use very few. In the same way, if the sentence has no other, in comparative we have to use than any other. If the positive sentence has very few, in comparative we have to use than most other. And this is the only keyword, and if we understand the structure of the sentence, very easily we can change the sentence from positive to comparative, comparative to superlative. So though this is the large course, in the short time it's not perfect for everyone to understand very clearly. So if we meet in next, then it will be very clear to you. Okay, best of all, and be well and stay well in the houses to protect yourselves and your family safe from coronavirus. Thank you.